Hedera Hbar. This is a power of Hedera being unleashed. We are seeing breaking records in the transactions, and we are only going to be growing in 2024. The Hbar Foundation has now released out a report on the 2023 metrics, which we are going to look at, and we're also possibly seeing one of the biggest collaborations for Hedera as well in terms of the Africa markets. And I'm going to be talking about another partnership that Hedera has, and of course the price action for Hbar towards the end of the video. All I ask from you are two things, which is to smash that like button and to subscribe to the channel as well. So the first bit of news that we have is coming from the Hbar Foundation, and they are saying Hedera have now broken records across every metric. That's revenue, developer activity, account creation, and transactions spanning every network service. One thing's for certain, we're not slowing down in 2024, and let's have a look at these metrics. In 2023 alone, we have now seen 106 products, services, and use cases have went live, and we'll have a look at the split of these. This is based on the crypto economy. We've got other, privacy, payments and fintech, sustainable impact, and consumer engagement. And the most amount of projects that we have are in media and entertainment, and we have second in sports. And I believe that for media and entertainment, it will only be growing further. They are now actively pursuing 148 opportunities, and of those 108 potential opportunities are active, and that they anticipate project launches next year to follow these trends as well. So they do have an active pipeline that they're currently going through for these projects, which is always good to see. And then we have the account creation. Again, the numbers on these are significant, and you can see over here just the amount of growth that they have been through in the past couple of years compared with 2020 just to 2021. In 1 year alone, with that amount of growth, we saw 68.3k to 508.8k, and then into 2022 we saw 794k, and in 2023 we saw 2.7 million. And this is the account creations that have happened over the span of just a couple of years. And of course, with the transactions, you would expect more revenue. So you can see over here that the network generated over $3.5 million in revenue, achieving 986% year-over-year growth. So of course that will be pretty high considering the fact that they are in the growth stage, but still the 2023 revenue is 5 times that of all previous years combined. And you can see over here in 2020 it was 74.1k, 2021 just under 300k, 2022 pretty similar at 328k, and then we saw that massive increase to 3.5 million, and it goes to show that they are only increasing with the amount of projects that they have. So big news coming out for Hedera. Now the biggest collaboration that we could possibly see is with Flutterwave. You can see over here we have Africa's highest valued fintech. The Flutterwave acquires 13 US licenses, and this enables faster and more efficient money transfers between the US and Africa. And Flutterwave have announced that it is now integrating Hedera, so they are facilitating the collection and payout of funds via USDC wallets supported by Hedera. And why is this important and big news? Well, they have coverage in 32 countries, and you can see some of the countries that they've got are highlighted over here. And so they currently don't have a hold of all of the countries in Africa, but they still have quite a large dominance there. They've been able to take a bit of the south, a bit of the west, and they accept all payment types, with the biggest ones as well as the channels you can get online, mobile, POS, and other. And the numbers that they have done is $25 billion in total payment volume and 200 million transactions. And we have the active merchants, where we all recognize these familiar faces, and the over $450 million in total funding. And so what is the growth opportunity for Africa? And guys, I always say this with XRP and XLM coin as well if you watch my videos. Again, not only are we seeing population growth, by 2050 it should be roughly 2.5 billion people, but also urbanization and connectivity. We're going to see more people with mobile internet access, which means that they can access this form of payments methods because they can use their mobile apps. So 475 million people are going to be having more access to the internet, and rising wealth that we are seeing, so consumer spending rising to $2.5 trillion by 2030. And in terms of economic growth, we have 8 out of the 10 fastest growing economies in the world, and 52 billion in infrastructure investments, and 4% average GDP growth. As we know, again, Africa does struggle in terms of payments because of the lack of the mobile infrastructure and people having access to mobiles as well. And I believe that in 2030 the revenue for cryptocurrency should roughly be around about $638 million. So that is some other part that Hedera can potentially capture. And in terms of the acquisition of the 13 new licenses, some of these states actually include Arizona, Arkansas, Maryland, Michigan, Delaware, and Georgia, just to name a few. And so this is a great news with their partnership that they're having. For the transactions, you can see over here we have broken records. We have year to date 31 billion in Hbar transactions, averaging 1,000 transactions per second, and then it's broken down into the 6 6 months, 22 billion H-bar transactions, averaging 1,400 transactions per second, and in 3 months, 12 billion transactions, averaging 1,600 transactions per second, and in 1 month, 5 billion H-bar transactions, averaging 1,900 transactions per second. And I believe overall in the 1 year, it's roughly around about 34 billion transactions, but the year to date is 31 billion. And so again, the real world minute transaction volume on the Hedera public crypto network will only increase for next year, and I'm excited to see as to what will happen with that. And then we also have the Hedera's new social wallet, which is called the Galaxy app, and this is to do with the content creator economy. Again, you'll see over here that the creator economy represents a 250 billion market that Galaxy plans to capture by using Hedera's network. And so this is something that will benefit us, and it will basically provide more of a relationship between the fans and creators and remove barriers between creators and payouts. And it says over here that they can often find themselves bound to third-party Web 2.0 infrastructure that makes it difficult to directly monetize digital experiences created for fans. And so this is why they will potentially be using Hedera for that, and they can do things such as video calls, DMs, follows, and shout outs that you can actually purchase. And we have a statement from the CEO at Hbar Foundation saying that it's their job at the Hbar Foundation to help bring the most promising Web3 projects to life on the Hedera network, and every facet of Galaxy as a business signals that's going to redefine a $250 billion market and onboard millions of people in the process. And I believe that this is an ever growing market as well, as we see more content creators come into the space, and for them to connect with their fans. It's only good that Hedera have been able to tap into this market, and Galaxy will be using their technology. So let's have a look at Hbar's price action for today. We are currently trading at 0.08. We are down by 2.59% on the 1 day chart. We are currently down by 37.52% on the volume, and we're trading at 84.3 million on the 1 day. Now let's have a look at where we were in the beginning of the day. We were trading at 0.0805, and we were trading at 130 million in volume, so we were much higher. Again, we actually managed to hit a nice 0.08, and then we actually hit 0.08227. The highest that we went to today was 0.08313. If we have a look at the 7 day chart, we are up by 9.55%, and you can see over here we had that nice high all of the way to that 0.08799. We weren't actually able to hit that 9 cents. And if we have a look at the 1 month chart, we are up by 32.38%. So where could Hbar potentially go with the price? Well, I do think that we may see some downside coming towards the 7 cents level, but we could comfortably be within that mid-range. Again, we have been on a nice rally to the upside, and we were previously trading at that 6 cent level or somewhat below. So it would be good if Hedera is able to maintain above that mid-range of the 7 cents, but let's see if we can actually hit 9 cents in the next couple of days. Guys, if you want daily Hedera Hbar coin news, subscribe to the channel and like the video as well.